So, why is the location of the proposed embassy of such concern to the United States?
Well, I think the United States is particularly concerned about the presence of sensitive financial infrastructure cabling that runs directly underneath and is proximate to Royal Mint Court, which is the site that the PRC would like to develop into a new embassy. The worry seems to be that based upon China's history of cable cutting and infrastructure hacks, that it doesn't seem terribly sensible to give them very easy access to cables which serve United Kingdom and United States financial infrastructure. So that's the basis of the concern, as I understand it.
And are these concerns valid?
Well, I think you just have to look at China's behavior. So, in the past year alone, there have been two confirmed infrastructure hacks on United States infrastructure. One of those embedded malware in US infrastructure with the ability to disable it. Against that backdrop, placing China directly over cables, which are the artery for UK financial services, is ludicrously reckless, and I can completely understand the United States' concerns about that. They have trillions of dollars flowing through the City of London and associated financial services institutions, and there's no reason that we should complain about the US being worried about their adversary, Beijing, potentially having access to that.
Now, Labour has made improving ties with China as part of its pitch to revive the UK economy. How far are relations hanging on this new embassy?
Well, it's pretty clear that it's a diplomatic priority for China. Xi Jinping himself raised this in conversation with Keir Starmer last year, which is highly unusual, by the way, to have a premier of any country say that they want to dictate the location of an embassy. So clearly, there's heavy pressure from China over this, and they lost quite a lot of face when their previous application was refused by Tower Hamlets Council. So clearly, there's a lot of pressure, and you can understand that the UK is in a tough position because under the previous government, the building was sold to the Chinese. They own it. They own Royal Mint Court. So this is just a question over whether or not they should be allowed to develop it. So you can see the predicament and the difficulty. I think the argument from those of us concerned would be this would be the biggest embassy in Europe with hundreds of PRC state employees, and it poses an unacceptable national security risk because of its proximity to sensitive financial cabling.
And there's also ongoing trade talks between the UK and the US. Is this embassy a significant part of discussions?
Well, the UK and US trade deal is currently being negotiated. I know firsthand that the United States is very concerned about this risk and is raising it as a part of those discussions. I think it matters a lot. The unfortunate thing is that, again, we've had to rely on the United States to try to help us to protect our own interests and our own national security. The United Kingdom should have done this on its own. It shouldn't have required the United States to protect our infrastructure through the prism of theirs. But sadly, that's where we are.